Hello, welcome back to the Kiwi double knockout tournament. This is the lower bracket. We're against Alicity, and we're going first. And we've got a White Stork, which is really nice. Couple caveats here. First one is the first game in the lower bracket I didn't actually record, so we're starting in round 2 instead of round 1. We won a fairly close game against Nick Dog. I seem to recall that one being a real big scrap. I'm gonna double check my recordings, just make sure I haven't got it, but assuming we don't have it, this is the first game that I have in the lower bracket. So we did win against Nick. Unfortunately, we're here. Actually, I do remember that game. That was a good game too. Ah, man, I hate it. Yeah, that was like a really tight one. I remember building a Grasslands engine. It was like 109 to 107 or something. It was a very close game. Anyway, apologies. Now let's focus on this game. So we're against Alicity. This is second round of the lower bracket. It is a best of 1 single shootout elimination. So we kind of have to win everything from here on in. You might be wondering why I'm hesitating a little bit here, and that's because figuring out how to get this White Stork to work is going to be a little bit tricky. We don't have any food in hand, or no plus food birds, which is going to make playing or using this White Stork a little bit complicated. Between Viti and Rodentologist, I tend to prefer Viticulturalist. I think we've already got this Ruby Crown Kinglet, which is really good for this first end of round, and it's good for Viticulturalist, so I think we should take that. Even though Rodentologist is really strong, I think Viticulturalist is usually easier to max out or get a good score on. But as I was saying, this White Stork, we kind of want food to kind of play the birds that we're going to find, so I think the plan here is pretty simply, we're going to keep a bird back. We're going to keep 3 birds. We're going to keep the Kinglet because it's going to be a very useful card for this end of round. We're going to play the White Stork into the Grasslands. We're going to take eggs, and then we're going to see what we find. If it's bad, okay, that sucks. Then we'll throw it away for food, and we'll double play into this Caroline Chickadee. If it's good, well, we'll play into that instead. Simple as that. This Hooded Warbler could be interesting. We could do something like eggs onto the White Stork, and then... no, actually we can't do that. We could just raw pick up this Hooded Warbler, but I don't know. It's tough. Even this Twite is actually quite interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have kept 3 cards here and should have gone for the Twite instead. If you can get Woodstalk and Twite into the game, you're probably doing alright. And Twite is a very good bird in the end of round 1. Very tricky starting hand. Like, given that you got a White Stork, like, this actually is quite complicated. The ends of rounds are not super conducive to White Stork as well. Mostly because, you know, being able to play a white power. Playing white powers means you're not getting extra food or extra cards or whatever it happens to be, so it didn't work that well with the White Stork. It's still fine, but like, it's not... You'd prefer a strong brown power to complement the Stork is all I'm trying to say. Of which we do not have. And the other thing that makes it complicated is this Twite. Like, the Twite is really good for value throughout this entire game. If you can play that in round 1, that is a 10-point bird, which is very good. Common Starling is also a scary bird. If you have something like a Red Start or European Robin or a Whiteback Woodpecker, then the Starling is just crazy good. You can reliably get like 10 tucks onto that bird. That also makes it a 13-point bird, which is kind of spooky. Or at least it makes it a game plan / win condition. So I do think like the Starling and the Collared Dove are both very spooky birds to be playing. And look at that, we will pick up the Twite. I agree with that. I think you have to deny the Twite here. Maybe we could have kept a bird back. Maybe we should have left the Carolina Chickadee, so we could have spent the Nectar and picked up an extra bird, but yeah, you know, this Wedge Tail could have been nice for us, but that's fine. I think the Twite is definitely the more scarier option here. Our opponent plays Yellow Belly Sapsucker. Not overly concerned by that. That's just going to give them extra worms. Extra worms is obviously good, but maybe this Hooded Warbler is more interesting to them, but they didn't know we had White Stork. The White Stork will deny anything that's in that tray, so now that they've committed into the forest, we don't really have to worry about them picking up this Hooded Warbler because they're not going to. It's going away. Goodbye. And we find Partridge, which honestly, we just want to get rid of it. We don't really want to use it. We just want it to go away because Partridge is scary. I don't want to play against Partridge today. No, thank you. Not with these ends of rounds. That's not what I want to do. The feeder is kind of so I guess we'll just take food now. I guess the problem there was that we couldn't take the fish and the nectar. So we have to take 2 worms. At least the feeder does work for us a little bit. We can double play still, but yeah, now we double play and we just keep digging with this White Stork and see what we can turn up. I mean, it's classic White Stork gameplay. Rosie Starling comes into the game though. That is a bit of a spooky card. Rosie Starling, like, coupled with, what do they have? A White Blade Sapsucker? I mean, it's lots of worms, but yeah, that's spooky. Now I think their game plan is just kind of draw until they find good stuff, and they can just keep accumulating value, accumulating cards. So this is not going to be an easy game. No stretch of the imagination. Am I thinking that? Yeah, not much we can do about what they have. All we can do is play with what we have. So if they are going to go full tuck, we definitely want to be qualifying and ideally winning all of these ends of rounds. With White Crown Kinglet, that's already helping a lot with this first end of round. White powers in round 1 is always a bit of a tricky one to work with. These play another birds are just really, really good for that. So pretty happy with that. Chickadee, not super happy with that, but it is what it is. I think we have a question to answer now is how do we get the Twite into the game? If we do eggs and then dig, we probably can't play the Twite. So yeah, I'm taking food here, and I think that's actually correct. I think we do Twite and then we lay eggs. I mean, we're giving ourselves flexibility, and that's like the important thing. If our opponent flips the tray and there's something awesome that turns up in tray, we're allowing ourselves the flexibility to go pick that up, which I think is important. You always want to try and maximize your options in Wingspan, so I think this is the thing that keeps our options maximally open. And then assuming nothing interesting happens, which it probably won't. I doubt my opponent's going to flip the tray this late into the round. We shall lay eggs and see what happens. My opponent may find a white power. We don't know. They've just been blind drawing off the top. But they do have plenty of worms to play it, so just lay out eggs anywhere. This grey warbler is probably the best thing that we could find. A Mang duck comes up. Are you kidding me? Well, do you take that and play Mang duck and Rosie Starling? Is that greedy? Is that too greedy? I don't know. This grey warbler is nice for us. I mean, it's another viticulturalist bird, so that's automatically going to get us lower bound. And it's also going to accelerate the development of our forest, which is useful. Our goal here is we really want to get food. We want a reliable source of food. And one way we can do that is by playing another bird. By playing up to column 4 to get that third resource. As it stands, don't really have a good option to get the bird in there, but you know, the grey warbler will help us a lot in order to be able to achieve our goal. I'm going to play stubble quail. I do not take the main duck, which is probably smart. But that is a lot of eggs. And that is a white wagtail. So goodbye, grey warbler. Hello, white wagtail. So that reshapes this entire game. Now, we have a very clear game plan. We're going to build a Grasslands-centric white wagtail game. These teal play and other birds are so immensely strong. Like, I know everyone wants to get them down in round 1 and then kind of feels a bit... Some people feel a bit weird about playing them in round 2. No, these birds are really good. I think they almost always are useful. I'm even coming around to the idea that maybe they're more useful than I think in round 3. And I think even that is pushing it. Like, but these birds are just so strong. So immediately once we see this bird, we're picking it up. These teal play and other birds are a game plan. They are a strategy. They are something you should play around. They will help you tremendously. So let's see what we can do with it. Probably thinking take food, play wagtail, take cards, something like that. Maybe this Eurasian Golden Oriole hangs around. That's kind of nice for what we want to achieve. But yeah, like the power of these teal play and other birds is just so crazy because they allow you to cover your weakness, right? And typically the weakness is going to be eggs, which is not going to be the case this game. The weakness for us is food. So it's going to allow us to take that extra turn taking food that we'd normally want to try and avoid, while accumulating cards and stuff. So it might seem like playing the White Wagtail and only getting like a card or drawing 2 cards seems like useless because we're already getting cards from the White Stork. Why do you need to draw? But there is always a time to draw. Like there's always a way you can leverage that to your advantage. So I think if we time our draws correctly, the Wagtail is going to cover our food disadvantage. It's going to give us a couple extra cards from this extra action that we're afforded on the wetlands, and I think this Wagtail is going to be crazy good for us. So very hard to pass up, and very hard to overlook. It's really going to be up to us now to make use of this bird, and I think we can. I think the only other condition that you really want with this bird is that we can get as much food as possible. And this is why the Twite is worse than the Brambling, right? So Twite forcing us to tuck those 2 cards. We would have loved to have kept that Grey Warbler. Grey Warbler into any forest bird, we automatically have good food access. The White Wagtail is having a really good time. But the Twite forces us to tuck 2 birds. So we cycle that one away. We get the Wagtail because it is by far the best bird in that cluster. And we have to live with that consequence. So that's okay. It's one of the many reasons why Brambling is so often preferred in these games. But yeah, we are definitely not unhappy. Our opponent's taking a while, so here we go. Alright, cool. They've decided to draw. We are going to lay eggs, which is totally fine, and we find Golden Pheasant, which I guess is fine to keep. I guess it makes it more awkward for our opponent if they don't have that. Golden Pheasant is a really easy way to qualify this end of round and the next end of round. So I think denying it now is smart. However, they have Stubble Quail, so maybe it's not so smart after all. It's still a nice, decent, it's a useful utility bird. It's decent points. It's easy to play. I think that's totally fine for us. Butcher Bird could be interesting. Probably not. Yeah, we really wish we could keep that Grey Wagtail. It would have helped a tremendous amount. Now is a great time to take food. We can reset the feeder, and we get absolutely nothing, as is tradition. When you really need the feeder to come through for you, you know that the feeder is just not going to come through. So, oh well. It's still good enough. Now we can play White Wagtail and draw cards. And so I would argue that we've got 2 weaknesses. Like we've got the weakness in the food because we're only generating 2 food a turn, and a weakness in cards because we can't throw cards away to generate value. And I think the Wagtail helps us on both for instances, right? Because getting those cards to throw away gives us the extra food to play birds. So we're gonna go for another draw here, another flip of the tray with the eggs, which is fine. I would have preferred just playing the White Wagtail. I'm not really sure what we're doing here or what we're fishing for, but it's okay. Bluebird is interesting. I mean, it's that or Tree Sparrow. They're both kind of the same. Bluebird is probably better because it hits Vidi. Even though the Tree Swallow helps us with food, I think it's kind of easy to play around that bird. I think with Nectar and Seed kind of being bundled on the same die, getting seeds left over in the feeder is much harder than it should be. So the value of that bird's not super high. Meaning Bluebird's probably the only thing that makes sense. Still not getting any nectar, which is kind of annoying. Oh, Bluebird's going away. Oh, that's very sad. Oh well. In that case, I guess, yes, the Bluebird is also pretty good to deny from my opponent. Make sure they can't build something up. Australian Ibis into the Grasslands. That is very surprising. I would have thought you slam that into the wetlands and just keep going. Maybe my opponent's thinking too much about these ends of rounds, I think. And that's a bold choice. We will play this Wagtail at long last. And then we will draw cards, and then we will do something. I don't know what we're going to do just yet, but we'll do something. Kinda wish we'd kept that Bluebird, honestly. Like, again, like the golden rule of Wingspan is kind of like delay things until you can't delay them anymore, right? Maintain flexibility where you can, and I think playing Wagtail, because we're always going to play that, and then drawing, and then taking food, so that we could have ditched the worst card of the 3 cards that we have in our hand, probably made more sense to me. But I understand the opportunity presented itself, so we did it a different way. I suspect I'm thinking of this golden pheasant as a way to steal this end of round. My opponent probably is going to get complacent. I think maybe they've got the things wrapped up with this white wagtail forcing me to spend an egg to use its power. But, you know, this golden pheasant will ruin those plans. Okay, we've got junk. So Brent and Laughing Kookaburra. I mean, again, I much prefer if we had the Mountain Bluebird now, because we could have gone and taken food and, you know, played them both. Done a double play into the golden pheasant, which would have been pretty sweet for us, but alas, we are not in that world, so we should try and focus elsewhere now. Yeah, our opponents matched us on egg count. They're expecting us to play a bird and go down on eggs. I don't know how I feel about taking food here. Maybe I just want to play Brent. Brent is not bad as well. Could be useful. Keep accumulating value on this chickadee. But yeah, you're kind of seeing what I was talking about, right? Like, only generating 2 food a turn in this forest is really killing us. And here we go. So Twite gives us some extra cards. Keeping the Kookaburra. Okay, that's interesting. I think it's a bit late to play Kookaburra. Oh well. And then this golden pheasant is going to allow us to win this end of round, which we're going to massively win it. Yeah, they can lay 2 more, so we're very well in the lead on that, so that's nice. Not doing so hot on Viticulturalist. I think yeah, if we had kept the Bluebird, would be a little bit happier right now, but that is what it is. It's fine. Now we get a really interesting trade coming up. This Bush Tip, Morning Dove, Blue-winged Warbler is also good. My opponent's Wetlands looks scary, but it's not that scary. It's round 3, and you only have Rosy Starling and a yellow-headed Blackbird. I think they're probably slightly behind the curve at the moment. I think the main thing with these Wetlands engines is you want to get them up and running as fast as possible, and I think maybe spending all that food on the Stubble Quail and having to rebuild it again on the Rosy Starling kind of hindered things a little bit. We are going to play this Laughing Kookaburra into the Grasslands, which is a little bit surprising to me. I think I understand the rationale. We want to try and contend for the end of round, and we want to get some more food. But it is a little bit awkward. This red cockaded woodpecker is kind of screaming at me right now. I know I have to draw, and that kind of sucks, but anyway, it's going to go away, so goodbye. Would have been nice to have that. Again, just trying to find these viticulturalist birds. And we find Kiwi. Okay, never mind. Viticulturalist. Who cares about viticulturalist? Who cares about viticulturalist anymore? Jeez. They could not have found a better bird there, I think. I guess maybe Abbott's Booby would have been up there. But I mean, Kiwi. I mean, what an absolute S-tier bird this thing is. It's so good. I haven't had very many Kiwi games lately. But yeah, this bird is so nice. It's just completely reshaped this game, right? Before we are thinking, oh no, we need these viticulturalist birds, we gotta qualify, and now we just don't. We just don't need to worry about it. This bush tit is much too late to be played, so the question now is, do you throw the bush tit or do you keep it? I think you probably keep it. The main reason being, if the Twite does find something, we do want to be able to cycle a card out. But I think broadly right now we're pretty happy. I think, what do we do? Probably Blue-winged Warbler into Kiwi. Like, we're never keeping Viticulturalist now. Like, there's no way we can do that. Mute Swan into the Wetlands. Man, that is a scary Wetlands. They could have had Main Duck, Rosy Starling, and Mute Swan. That is absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I think this is... I guess, yeah, okay. Kiwi into the grass. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Kiwi grass would be fun, because if you do eggs and hit a worm on the Kookaburra, then you can play Blue-winged Warbler. That is a bit of a risk. That is a bit risky. Maybe you gotta risk it. Maybe you gotta risk it. Just hit. just hit. Get rid of Vidi, and we find Ethologist for 6, nice. And a whole bunch of garbage. Looks like we can do something on Forest Data Analyst, though. I think Blue Winged Warbler is 20 centimeters, if I'm correct. So we can get 20-20-20, which is kind of fun. Regardless, whatever it is, I think it is... it's going to qualify regardless, because 20-20 means we can go either direction and get some good points off that, so... Yeah, big swing there on Viticulturalist. I mean, Kiwi, game-saving bird. And we are going to go for the flip. Hit a worm. Alright, we hit a worm. Cool. That was a bit of a risk, but it's a risk that paid off. Yeah, I think you just deny Green Swallow. Like, I don't think it matters, but we'll just deny it anyway. And yeah, this game is now feeling a lot better, isn't it? Like... It took a while, but we kind of made something else. And our opponent... I don't know what's happened over there, but the tempo just kind of evaporated, like... With the kind of birds they have in hand, like, I guess the Ibis just should have been in the wetlands. And if you had Ibis plus all those other birds, like, that is extremely scary. Like, that is something that, like, is nightmare fuel. But because the Ibis isn't there, they're only up to column 4, and it's really slowed everything down, and it's just... You know, that is the difficulty of these wetlands engines. It's like finding the tempo to get them going fast enough to be able to win the game. Because if you don't get them up fast enough, you just look kind of silly. A Kiwi is such a good play, oh my god. Like, it also allows us to tie the end of round, so just so much value. They did Ash-sorted Flycatchers. That is... I mean, anytime they're not activating their wetlands engine is honestly a win for me, so I'm pretty happy that that's being played at this point. At the end of round right now of Play to Bird is really good for us as well, because they shouldn't want to play birds. The only bird they want to play is like Benelli or Eastern Imperial or something like that. They really want to be hitting this wetlands as much as possible. Again, they haven't filled out their 5 columns, so... they're only getting 3 cards plus 1 from the diver. Not really able to tuck everything, so... Yeah, I mean, on paper, a very scary engine, but it just didn't come together in time. And meanwhile, we're very happy. We got a very strong Grasslands. This Kookaburra might have been a bit of a weird play, but it's helped us a little bit. Getting the extra food... being very helpful in that sense, helping us tie the end of round, also a little bit helpful. Not helping us score points, unfortunately. I mean, it hasn't been a big point scorer, but you know, I will call it an indirect point scorer, because by being able to get that worm from the Kookaburra by an egg action rather than having to go into the forest, that got us 4 points in an egg, 4 points in a card. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Trumpeter Swan has come up. Maybe that is interesting for us. I mean, we want to take cards at some point. Trumpeter Swan is a decently big bird. I think you probably want to take that, right? I mean, is it much of an improvement over the Ibis build? Hard to justify. Hard to argue, but maybe you just want to deny it and just make your opponent not get that bird, because it is quite a big one. Yeah, I think doing that is correct. Find the Chiff Chaff. Like, all of the big tucking birds are out today. Starling, Main Duck, Mute Swan, Chaff, crazy. But yeah, all good. So things are progressing nicely. And I think we're pretty happy with how things are going. We are going to definitely lay eggs here. Get some more food from this Kookaburra. I think it looks like we're being strategic about how we're laying our eggs in case we hit breeding manager or something terrible. Find a Gallinule, which I think is the obvious deny. Not that I think it's going to get played at all, but it is what it is. Now what? Really looking to find a nice opportunity to take food, right? Is this opportunity nice enough? We really would like a nectar into the forest, wouldn't we? Yes, we would. Maybe the play then is to do eggs again. Two ways to do it. We can do eggs twice. Eggs again. Hope we find a forest bird. Pull a nectar. Play the bird with the nectar and be happy with that. Or we do food twice. Spend a nectar to reset the tray, to reset the feeder, and then play the birds we want to play. Chiff chaff. Alright, I didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. It's another 20-centimeter bird. Okay, fair enough. Alright, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Chiff chaffs are going to allow us to liquidate a bunch of cards. I didn't even see that that didn't even register as an option. How good is this really? So that's 3 points. After egg cost. We should be able to tuck 4 birds. So that's 7 points. Plus the extra food. Doesn't qualify us on nectar, however. So that is a little bit of a problem, but I think not much we can do on that front. We just have to think about what birds we want to play. We just want to play Spoonbill, I think. Just do food once, eggs, and then Spoonbill. That to me seems like the smartest approach to things. I mean, the Ibis bill is interesting because you do get that worm back. But I am not sure that worm is needed. Tricky. Very, very, very tricky. Yeah, our opponent's wetlands are so underutilized. Like, they're... just from that glance, it looks like they must have had, like, 8 to 10 tucks. That's really unfortunate. Like, when you build a wetlands that's that formidable, not being able to hit it repeatedly for mega points is really sad. And I you know, given the game state, I don't blame that they're not using it, because it is not as scary as if it was fully built out, right? You just kind of feel a bit sad, if you know what I mean. Oh well. What do they end up doing? They end up playing the Roadrunner. So it looks like they might just do a couple tins of eggs to finish off, which is surprising, but possible. What do we do here? I think, oh yeah, I think taking... Okay, we're gonna take food here. I was just thinking maybe you take food here. I'll take cards. Sorry, take eggs. Because you do get the extra card, so if you do want to throw a card for food, you can do that. But I don't think it matters either way. I think you just have to content yourself with taking 4, playing Spoonbill, and just hoping everything is good. I don't think there's a better way to do things. And I guess maybe Twite finds something better to play. Maybe the Wood Stork finds something better to play than this Spoonbill. What would be better than it? Probably a bonus bird. Probably like Cassin's Finch. Something like a Cassin's Finch would be perfect, or a Spotted Owl or something like that. Like any forest bird is actually really good here, because we can qualify nectar and get 3 points off data analyst, so it's kind of nice if we can find something. But kind of, you know, what are we looking at? We're looking at 5 cards, 3 from the White Stork flip, plus 2 from the Twite. So we'll see what we can find. We'll just move the game along a little bit because my opponent's taking a while. And what do? They drew birds, which makes a ton of sense given their situation. We'll pick up the extra food, we'll take a worm, it doesn't really matter, and we will find... I mean, I guess Himalayan Monal rough? Okay. I don't think it matters too much. I think Himalayan Monal might have been slightly more interesting. It's a really wobbler. Alright, there we go. That will do it. That will do it. That is now better than the Rosier Spoonbill, because it's all 20s. Data analyst is all 20s. It's a 7-point play. 6 after taking off the egg cost, plus the nectar, which I think is either going to be 2 points or 3 points. Maxed out wildlife gardener. That's what a warbler. What a warbler. That's funny. Well, that all kind of came together very nicely in the end, didn't it? So let's see what the final scores are. We get pretty even on bird points. We're going to do very well on bonus cards thanks to the Kiwi. What a strong play that was. Split the end of rounds. We're going to have a lot of eggs. A lot of food on cards. We're actually going to have a lot of tucks thanks to the Twite. And yeah, only 17 from the Wetlands player. That is just not enough for an engine of that kind of description. So let's see what they had. Falconer. Alright, fair enough. That makes the Roadrunner make sense. But really, the story of this game is, well... it's just a classic White Stork game, right? I mean, you just dig and you hope you find stuff. But this is our final board. I don't know if we tied Nectar or whatever in the forest, but anyway, this Cerulean Warbler couldn't have come up at a better time. Really just finished everything off, and like that perfect, the 2020 is just so perfect. Like you couldn't ask for more for a data analyst. It's so funny. But yeah, this was a good game. I think this was honestly saved by the Kiwi. I think the Kookaburra actually did find enough value in this game. I think when I played it, I was very unsure if that was going to yield the correct amount of value that it needed to. I think it delivered when it mattered. It found the worm when it mattered. It got the extra food when it mattered. It allowed us to get this Chiff Chaff into the game, which ended up being quite a good play, all things said and done. And yeah, I think they all came out pretty well. So, fortunately, that means we live to fight another day in this tournament. This is again a single elimination bracket now because we're in the loser bracket. So we'll wait for the next opponent and see what that is, and then when we play them, well, hopefully it'll be another fun game like this one. In any case, we'll see you in the next game.